Okay, for the notes on Punnett squares, we go back to the information we know about homozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, recessive, both of those. So question number 1 says to cross a homozygous dominant brown cow, and it tells us that capital B, remember capital means that it is dominant, lowercase means it is recessive. So if it is homozygous, that means they're the same, dominant, so that's going to be two big B's. Brown cow with a homozygous recessive white cow. Homozygous means the same, recessive means it's lowercase, so two lowercase b's. It's asking which allele is dominant and which is recessive, so big B tells dominance, little b is recessive. How many cows are brown and white? So we'll need to do the cross in order to figure that out. So we put our alleles in the boxes. Does not matter which one goes where, meaning this crossed with this crossed. So we have big B crossed with a little b, little b. So we come down and across, so down with the big B, across with a little b, down with a big B, across with a little b, down with a big B, across with a little, down with a big, and across with a little. So how many cows are brown and white? Well, every box has a capital B in it, which indicates brown, because brown is dominant. Anytime you have a capital letter in the same box as a lowercase, it overshadows that lowercase like it's not there. So all four boxes have a big B, which means all four boxes are dominant brown. So you will have 4 brown cows, and you will have 0 white, because the only way to get a white cow would be to have 2 lowercase b's. What is the probability of getting a brown cow? The probability is 100%, because all 4 boxes have a capital B. Each box is worth 25%. Add those up to get 100%. Cannot go over 100. What is the probability of getting a white cow? 0%. Okay, number 2. You're going to cross a heterozygous. Hetero means different, brown. So if it is different, it is a big B, little b, with a homozygous recessive white cow. So this would be homozygous the same, recessive is lowercase. So we do our cross, big B, little b, little b, little b. Down and across, down, across, down, across, down, and across. What is the ratio of brown to white? We have 1, 2 with capital B, which indicates a brown cow, so we will have 2 to white. This is the only option for us to be able to have a white cow, to 2 smaller B's. So our ratio is 2 to 2. Then it says, what is the probability of getting a white cow? Well, if I have 2 boxes, each box is 25%, 2, 25 plus 25, 50% is the probability. Number 3, cross a heterozygous. Hetero means different, brown, so big B, little b, with a heterozygous brown cow. That would be a big B, little b. So big B, little b, big B, little b, down and across, down. Try to always put your capital letters first. It just makes it easier because your capital is dominant over the recessive. Down and across, down and across. So, what is the ratio of brown to white cows? You have 1, 2, 3 boxes with a capital B, which means you will have a brown cow. So that would be 3. And you only have 1 box with a lowercase. 3 to 1. What is the probability of getting a white cow? White cow, 2 lowercase b's. Probability is 25%. Again, each box is worth 25%. Number 4, the genes for hair type are capital H is curly, dominant over recessive straight hair, which is lowercase h. You're going to cross a heterozygous male. So heterozygous means different, which means I'll have one capital, one lowercase, with a homozygous recessive female. So that would be 2 lower h's. Explain your results using genotype, phenotype in ratio form. Genotype are the genes. Phenotype is what you can physically see, the trait, curly to straight, and then ratio will be 1 to 1, 2 to 1, so on and so forth. So we need to do our cross. You're going to draw your own box. Put your letters, your genotypes on top. So big H, little h, little h, little h. Come down and across. Oops. Down and across, down and across, down and across. So capital H indicates I have curly hair. So this one is curly. Capital H indicates I have curly hair. 2 lowercase h, that's the only way you will get straight hair. So this one's straight and so is this one. So genotypes. Our genotypes are the genes. So I have 1, 2. So for genotype, I have 2 to 2 ratio of big H, little h, to little h, little h. Phenotype is the physical trait I can see. And you have 2 boxes of curly, 2 boxes of straight. So I have 2 to 2, curly to straight. Number 5, the genes for eye color are capital B, brown, so dominant over lowercase b, which is blue, recessive. You want a homozygous dominant, so homozygous means the same, dominant will be brown, so big B, with a heterozygous female. Heterozygous means different, there's only one combination, big B, little b. Again, explain your results in genotype, phenotype, and percentage form this time. Okay, so I have to draw my box. You have your combinations, big B, big B, little b, and again, it doesn't matter what goes where. So, down and across, down and across, down, across, down, across. Again, try to put your capital letters in the front. So I have 1, 2, 3, all 4 boxes have a capital B, which means I will have all 4 outcomes will have brown eyes. So I have percentage form, so our genotype is equal to, well, let's do our genes first, sorry. So genotype, your different combinations, you have 50% that have big B, so that takes care of those 2. Your other genotype is big B, little b, combination, and that's 50%. Your phenotype, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 100% brown eyes to 0% blue eyes. All right, let's do the back. In dogs, thick coats are dominant over thin coats. So thick coat is a capital T, thin coat is a lowercase t. How could you possibly determine what the genotype is of a dog with a thick coat. So you have to do a cross. So thick coat. If the dog has a thick coat, that means it has at least a capital T. So you could have two combinations. You could have big T, thick coat, or you could have big T, little t, thick coat still. So if you did your cross, what are the possible genotypes for a thick coat? That would be big T, and big T, little t. It can't be two little t's because that's a thin coat and it's asking for a thick coat. What did you cross it with? So we had big T crossed with a big T, little t. Here's our cross, possible genotypes. Still, so you had 50% big T, 50% big T, little t, or you could say 2 to 2 ratio. Two boxes had that, two boxes had that. Either way, thick coat. Okay, it says, if some offspring have thin coats, what is the genotype of the unknown thick coat dog? So the only way to have thin coats is a big T, is two little t's. So you would have to cross a big T, could be big T, big T, little t, crossed with a big T, little t. So let's try that. Big T, little t, big T, little t. So big T, little t, big T, little t, little. So you have one that has a thin coat. So in this one, you would have 75% thick, 25% thin, which would give us a 3 to 1 ratio. And we do not do number 7. And we do not do number 8. You get to have that fun in biology next year.